أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وحياكم الله. In my previous video we talked about the creation of the universe, the creation of the atom, scientifically and Islamically. Today inshallah we're going to talk about life on Earth. Life on Earth basically started 4,500 million years ago. Scientists compressed this time into basically 12 months to understand what happened in those 4 billion and a half. They said in the first, on January, nothing happened. In February 25th, first cell was created. And then that cell stayed the same all the way until June. Then the second cell or life became with second cell, dual cell. Now that stayed the same until December. Imagine, subhanallah, nothing happened. Or let's say a simple cell was only created. No complex life, no DNA, no chromosomes, no planning at all. It's just the first cell, second, third only. Now, December 31st, that's where things basically boomed. December 31st refers to the last 500 million years on Earth. What happened on those last 500 million years? 5 to 600. The scientists said there is an era called a Cambrian era, or the Cambrian explosion, where 10 million species were created or occurred or came to life. Of course, at the beginning there was water first, and then plants, trees, and so on. But creatures, species, all came in about 55 million years. In those 55 million years, the Cambrian era or the Cambrian explosion came to life. So what happened? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the blueprint for every species, basically. The whale to be a whale, for the salmon to be a salmon, for the fish to be fish, and so on. For the bird to be bear, for the bird to be a bird, and so on. And for man to be a man, or for a human to be a human. What does that mean? That means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala planted, designed, fashioned the first blueprint in every cell to grow the way it is today. Simple as that. So between the creation of things, or was it the evolution? We cannot say evolution, and we cannot say creation the way things that looks. We say creation like you brought fish and you put it together, and no, it doesn't work this way. So the right thing is, it's a combination. It's a planned combination, designed, fashioned up, and the blueprint, which is the DNA, proves that. Now what's the DNA? DNA basically is the blueprint of every creature. It's inside the cell where the whole plan of the species is basically embedded. For us, in every cell there is a DNA, and that DNA in our cells, there are 3 billion letters to describe how this creature should come out to life, how it's gonna live and how it's going to look like and what it's going to do. Not just creation, it's a creation, guided creation basically. So that guided creation is inside the cell, in every cell, and there are 100 trillion cells in each body. Subhanallah. And each cell knows what to do. Exactly. So this cell will grow and make double cell, treble, grows up until it makes the kidney, until it makes the heart, until it makes the bones, until it makes the eyes, and so on. It makes you, me. Subhanallah. This is not only in human, it's in all creatures and even in plants. Subhanallah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala planned it and guided it. That's what it is, scientifically and Islamically. And that's where the Cambrian era, the Cambrian basically is an area in Britain. That's where they found all these species, subhanallah. But most people don't know. Check it out, Google it, Cambrian era or the Cambrian explosion. It's amazing, subhanallah. Now we put these things together, the creation and the evolution. Of course, now there's words of evolution. Now this is where evolution comes in. The evolution basically comes in where when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us, we grew. So when we grew, there was mutation in every generation. So this mutation changed us, changed color, changed how tall we are, how we look like, Chinese, Asians, Europeans, whatsoever, Middle Eastern, ila akhiri, and so on. Subhanallah. How? Through time and through mutation, basically. Simple as that. This is evolution through the species itself, but not through changing the species from one species to another. It doesn't work this way. That's not science, and that's not religion too. It can't, one species, the bear cannot fly, cannot with time, cannot turn to fly. Simple as that. Okay, now do we have the evidence to prove this? Of course we do. Now, as we mentioned, the DNA is one of them. The DNA in, for example, in other species, some of them have 32 billion letters in it. Those letters are the program of that cell for that animal, what it should do to exist or to survive. One of them has, as I said, 32 billion letters, but with 32, we have only 3 billion. That creature can live in water, can live outside, can take hot temperatures, cold temperatures, and if it loses one organ, it can reproduce that organ, subhanAllah, but we can't. So this is all planned and guided, subhanAllah. That's number one. Number two, scientists brought monkeys, and they said, can monkeys learn through time, like if through 100 million years, if we put monkeys through experiences and time, are they going to learn and adapt and be like us with time? So they said, let's try to program, to make a computer program and try to see if that will work or not. They did that in Britain, and when they programmed, when they created this program, they made all these probabilities for the monkeys to type and to see if how many in every 1,000 years, for example, how many words they are going to create, or are they going to be able to create something that is meaningful. They found they were unable to. So monkeys cannot learn with time. It just, they are what they are, that's it. And you can you Google that unlimited monkeys experience called. You can Google that too. The third thing is, so we said the DNA, the monkey's experience, or the unlimited experience for the monkeys. And the third thing is, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, the protein itself. The protein itself. Now, the scientists said, how much time does the Earth or the universe need to produce one protein? One protein. So they said, when they calculated this issue, they said, in order for one protein to come alive, it needs 10 at the power of 161. Imagine 10 with 161 zeros in front of it. That's how much time it needs just to create one protein. And of course, anything above 10 at the power of 50, we're talking about impossible. It doesn't work. It's not going to happen. One protein. Now imagine we have all these proteins and just two that working together to make things work. Subhanallah. So with that, life cannot exist without a creator, subhanallah. Simple as that. So after the Cambrian, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made life easy for us to live on earth. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam and Eve alayhi salam. Now the issue of Adam at the time of 1136, when you remember when we said they compressed the 4,500 million years to 12 months. Now December 1136, last night of last month of the year, they said that Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, that 1136 Homo sapiens were created. Homo sapiens, basically our predecessors, basically. Now, who look like us, but Allahu A'lam. Now that's where scientists are not sure what happened back then. Who was alive? Did they have full brain like us, soul like us, or just creatures like us? That's scientists still looking at that. The idea is that since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us about our creation, that He created us from water, from soil, from mud. So all these basically make sense that we are from earth, basically. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it easy and put us through stages, and then He created us subhanahu wa ta'ala. What matters here is that, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, what matters here is that the soul that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to put in us. I am going to talk about the soul, inshallah, in my next video, because that topic is so interesting, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honored us just by giving us the soul. So with that, inshallah, I'll conclude. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.